sell off. We have so many that can be redeveloped in our communities and get people back to work. So there are a lot of good ideas out there. I'm going to continue to fight on reducing the size of government and really cutting the waste. And I know if I ignore the signs long enough that I can filibuster and, all right. Questions? Am I allowed to take questions?
Hey. Hi, on top of the evening to all of you. Just a few simple questions. I'm going to start off with one easy one that I know that you'll have a good answer. It says, what is your passion on the Second Amendment? Somebody in the audience has it.
I get 1 minute to answer? I couldn't be a stronger proponent of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner. I love to hunt with my kids. But to me, it's much more than that. The Second Amendment's not an idea. It's a right. It's a right under our Constitution. Not only the Constitution that I swore an oath to defend as your member of Congress, but the oath that I promised to defend when I served our country. And so I'll always fight to make sure that we have that right, and I'll continue to vote against those things that try to whittle away at our Second Amendment rights.
Okay, very good. Okay, I have a second question for you. It says, explain the recent vote to delay the part of Obamacare and why. This is questions from the audience.
assume that's the individual mandate. So the president unilaterally, by executive order, he extended the employer mandate. If it's good enough for our job creators, if it's good enough for our businesses, why wouldn't it be good enough for every individual? Now, I think we ought to repeal it altogether. I've been very vocal about that. I think it not only takes our country in the wrong direction, but here locally we have a huge issue with access. We have too many doctors that can't afford to take Medicare patients. We have a doctor shortage. And with the Affordable Care Act canceling policies, canceling doctors, we're putting more people on Medicare and having less doctors to be able to serve them. Our access to health care is continuing to grow, and I'm going to continue to fight to repeal Obamacare.
Very good. Okay. The next question is, I don't want federal money in our state. It gives them control of water, environment, and roads. What will you do? I think you answered some of it, but if you can expand.
I think that I need to fight for the reforms and put the reforms in place that actually allow us to keep our money. We are a donor state. We've always been a donor state when it comes to transportation projects. I'm not asking for handouts from other states. But when we pay our gas taxes, we ought to be able to keep our money here locally to fix our local roads. And where we do have federal water storage projects, we need to make sure that we have the federal financing to be able to increase them and put them at the level that they were originally designed for. Shasta should have an additional 5 to 7 million acre feet right now today. It is a very inexpensive project for the amount of water that we would actually have for our farmers. It's about $1.5 billion project, and it's a federal project. But where we have state projects like Sites and Fry Dam, we should have those too. And where we have private projects like Los Vaqueros, we ought to make sure that we have the authorization so that private project can go ahead and move forward and not only run it like a business, but actually provide the water that we need here locally.
Okay, thank you. And we have one last question. Our timer's doing a good job. Okay, we have one last question. Okay, the last question I have is, are you a constitutional candidate, and can we count on you to fight for smaller government and lower taxes?
Absolutely. I think I addressed that in my opening. I believe in our Constitution. I carry it around with me every day. I take a look at the bills that we're voting on and see how they fit within the Constitution. But to me, it is a very special thing because I served our country and swore an oath to defend it. So I really follow our Constitution and will continue to fight to make sure that those that think that it's just a document and think they can whittle away with it, we're going to continue to fight back, which is one of the reasons we want to hold this president accountable. The Constitution is there for a reason. It is withstanded the time of many different presidents and many different Congresses, and we need to uphold it and fight for it. Can I get a close? closing, I want to thank you for your support. I am proud of this Republican Party. There are many of you that have spent a great deal of time out walking a lot of precincts, putting up signs, even donating money. Elections are tough. Elections are expensive. Our opponents will say a lot of bad things about us. But when we are organized and we work together, we not only win elections, but we change our community and our country. And I am proud that we have raised money. We have got boots on the ground to register voters. Now, for the first time in several decades, Stanislaus County is a net Republican county. My congressional district, when they originally redrew those lines, it was designed to be a 7-point advantage to the Democrats. It is now a 1.5-point advantage to Republicans. And we're going to continue to do that in every city, in every community. We want to make sure that we change this valley to make sure it's the grand old party that we need it to be. So thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you for your support.
Kristen Olson, come on up here. He did take some of her time too, didn't he? He's his word. I'm glad to see that. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, good evening. It's so great to see this many people out at the Central Committee's Candidate Forum. I want to start by thanking all the leaders of the Central Committee for putting this together, because it's events like this where individual citizens and grassroots leaders come together because we want to take back our state that are eventually going to allow us to be able to do just that. And so walking in here tonight and seeing this many people in the room to hear about the causes that we all care about because we want to be the Golden State again was very motivating to me. And I hope to continue to see you throughout the year, throughout the elections, walking for all the various candidates because we need you. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, because I do see a lot of new faces in the room. My background professionally is in marketing and communications. I was born in the Central Valley, born and raised, and I really care about our future. I think we have great opportunities despite our great challenges. And we need to address those challenges head on so that we can have opportunities in the future and that our children can choose to live in the Valley as we have been able to do. The most important thing I can say about myself is that I'm a mom. It's the most important thing in my life. It motivates me for what I do because I want to make sure that my 3 kids, my 12-year-old